Friends, please be seated. I don't know what it is about that song, but that rest, it always gets me, you know? It's a musical notation right there. So this is a great and wonderful day, and my comment is very brief. It's not lost on me that we take a break during the Easter season to, on the fourth Sunday of every Easter, to refer back to Good Shepherd Sunday. And in the gospel it says, now at that time it was the feast of the dedication, and it was winter. Well, this is the biblical sort of roots of Hanukkah, right? You know, so the giving of the gifts in that Jewish tradition, the menorah, the lights, right? And so it's a wonderful reminder that we have this day to celebrate lights in our own lives, gifts of this community. And so invite each one of them in their turn to offer a reflection.
Good morning, everyone. Before I get started, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, aunts, and wonderful women in my life. None of us would be here today without you. I'm really thankful for the chance to stand up here this morning. St. Luke's has been part of my life for as long as I can remember, and it feels so special to share some of those memories with you. My earliest memories of St. Luke's are from visiting at Christmas time when I was really little. I loved everything about it, the music, the smells, and especially playing with the candle wax during Silent Night. I was also convinced that Father Lee was Santa Claus. So naturally, when we moved to Bartlesville and my parents asked my sisters and me where we wanted to go to church, we said, the one with Santa Claus. Father Nick, you still have a little while until you have the white beard. St. Luke's has always been more than a church to me. It's been a family. Literally, if you've ever tried to sit near us, you know we take up an entire pew with all my cousins, sisters, and whoever else we drag to church with us on Sunday. When I started middle school, my dad took over the youth group and made every Wednesday fun. I mean, can you think of anything more spiritually awakening than noodle ball? And my mom has always been a constant here. She runs the music, and every morning she gets up and reads her Bible and devotions. She's always been a big influence on my faith. When I was little and had a bad dream or was anxious about school, she'd always tell me to just pray about it. And that has stuck with me since. When writing this speech, I tried to think of a Bible verse to include, but prayer has always resonated with me more than anything. One time at YD, we talked about different versions of the Lord's Prayer. The New Zealand version especially stood out to me. It was so peaceful and comforting that I have kept it in my nightstand ever since. It begins with addressing God as the source of all that is and shall be, Father and Mother of us all, loving God in whom is heaven. If you've never read it, I highly recommend looking it up. It's a very beautiful prayer. Beyond just being surrounded by my actual family, I've always felt loved and accepted to everyone here. You all have showed me what it looks like to be kind, to welcome others without judgment, and to live out the message of Jesus, not just in words, but in how we treat people. This fall, I'm headed to OU to study nursing. I know it will be a new environment and a big change, but I also know that I'm not going alone. I'm bringing everything I learned here with me, the comfort of prayer, the strength of faith, and the reminder to love others well. Thank you for being my church, my family, and my foundation.
Okay. Hello. So, this is to all the YD members, the congregation, and my family. I have been a member of St. Luke's for 15 years. During my early years at St. Luke's, I would do anything but pay attention during church, as I think all little kids do. I would spend the entire service filling out those prayer request forms with made-up characters which had absurd problems. In sixth grade, I became an acolyte. I remember my brothers telling me very firmly that I would be an indentured torchbearer for all of middle school, and then, just maybe, I could move up a crucifer. Well, the torchbearer outfit was a little tight on me, so I moved up to holding the cross before I had fulfilled my 3 years. Sorry about that. The time I started acolyting is also when I started paying attention, at least a little more, and began to learn. There is something about sitting up here, watching a chunk of bread get fished out of the cup of salvation with a spoon, that really shapes your viewpoint on the church. But really, I really have enjoyed my time as an acolyte, and it helped me learn. I also started going to YD in the sixth grade. I entered YD as a pimple-studded tween and exited as a young man. All of that to say, YD helped shape who I was growing up. Lost my spot. Whether it was spending time with older members or dusting shelves at Concern. Like most young boys do, I looked up to the upperclassmen, Harold, Keaton, Charlie, heck, even Kyle Peterson. I tried to fill their shoes as best I could when it was my time to be a senior, and I hope I was a good example for all of the middle schoolers, even if they witnessed me aggressively tagging out Mrs. Roper in a game of kickball. Speaking of which, I wanted to thank all the various YD sponsors, whether it was driving around a horde of smelly kids, planning activities, or using money to let us make intricate wax candles. YD would not be possible without you. I'm a man with a lot of questions, and this church holds a lot of answers, but not all of them are easy to find. Father Nick, you have always been kind to everyone who steps into this place, and you have always cared for me. I don't know if Andrea is here today, but although I haven't known you for long, I have already asked you like 10 questions about the church, and you gave thoughtful, collegiate-level responses to each of those questions. I really appreciated that. When I think about YD, I think about knocking on random people's doors and singing Christmas carols. I think about Compline, prayer, lasagna, and sinking into those comfy couches for a talk. As I head off to OSU, I think I will remember the late-night Christmas service, these stained glass windows, and ringing the bells before communion, just to name a few. A couple days ago, a man named Jeff Houston reached out and invited me to join the Canterbury Center at OSU, an Episcopal student group. I joined, but I didn't just join for the free dinner. I joined because I want to continue my journey that I started here, although I don't think any group can replace what I got from St. Luke's. Thank you, and happy Mother's Day.
Hello, my name is Ryan McIver. I've been a member of St. Luke's my whole life. 18 years ago, I was baptized here by Father Lee, and many of you were here to see that. I've been a member of YD too for about 7 years. St. Luke's has impacted my life a lot. I've received lots of support here growing up. You all helped me raise money for Boy Scouts, for Boy Scout camps when I sold popcorn to you. You were here for my breakfast fundraiser to help pay for my AED for my final Eagle project. And you all supported our YD trips and contributed to our community service projects for YD. I've had lots of great experiences here and met so many wonderful people here. I'm very grateful for all the church does, especially YD. I have many good memories from my time at YD. All the trips we have gone on and all the friends I've made there have molded me into who I am now. I'm going to be attending Oklahoma State University next year for chemical engineering. There, I'm planning on joining the OSU Episcopal Church and their youth group. I would like to thank everyone who supported me along the way, including my parents, my sister, my grandparents, my YD leaders and friends, and all of you. Thank you.
These past 4 years have flown by, as many have said they would, and I couldn't be more grateful for all the memories and relationships I've made along the way. St. Luke's has been an amazing place to grow up, thanks to all the people who make it feel like one big family. It was this church and the people in it that have given me a place to grow and explore my interests, as well as providing myself and the rest of YD with once-in-a-lifetime trips to Washington, D.C. and New York, and so many countless memories. I will never forget running through DC's metro system and seeing Elliot pop up on the wrong side of the tracks and seeing the fear in Father Nick's eyes and every single YD mentor we had there. Or the crazy events that happened at NYSUM. If you know, you know, there's a lot of good stories. Or the emotion of getting to see the Statue of Liberty or the White House, thanks to all of our YD sponsors. I would like to thank St. Luke's for giving me opportunities to see new places and try new things, like escargot, all while growing in my faith. And thank you to YD for all the memories and friendships I'm so lucky to have made.
All right, good? All right. Hello all. As I stand here today, I am in shock that it's now my turn to thank the congregation and speak to the next generation. For just over a decade, I've watched as seniors graduated, offering wisdom and guidance to the next generation as they went. With any luck, I hope to do the same. I cannot express how truly thankful I am to you all here in the St. Luke's family. I will always carry with me the lessons that I have learned here through both services and YD alike. The thoughtful sermons of Father Lee, Sean, Steve, and especially Father Nick have never ceased to awe me. Their wisdom is seemingly endless and always heartfelt. I also owe a tremendous thank you to YD and all of its sponsors. YD has always been a haven for me. Even in my older years, as schedules got busier and life became hectic, YD and the St. Luke's congregation were always there, always accepting, and never judgmental. As I have gotten older, I've come to realize that St. Luke's is not only a place or a people, but it's also a token that is taken with me everywhere, a community with which I will never bear my troubles alone, because you are and always will be with me. We often speak of spirituality in terms of our connection to God. I, however, have found that my most spiritual connections are through you all. Your unconditional love, community-driven efforts, and unwavering friendships represent everything we have been taught through the Scripture. I believe this is the greatest gift and lesson that I can take with me in the next phase of my life. As I move onward, I will be attending Dalhousie University in Halifax, Nova Scotia. There, I will be majoring in marine biology, and I'm also considering minoring in economics. In this next chapter, I will take with me not only the lessons I have learned from all of you here at St. Luke's, but also the memories and lasting friendships that I have formed. Thank you for everything.
So one of the things that I love that we're able to do is to be able to offer a little token of our appreciation for the gift of you all amongst us. And for most of you, that is it's a prayer book. But for a couple, it's different this year. And so who do I have first? I have Ethan. So marine biology and economics, right? Yep. Okay, intersection between faith and science. And so this prayer book is sort of like an offering of what's been handed down to us through generations. And one thing I've always appreciated about you is your inquiring in mind and your discerning spirit and the ability to call BS. You know, that's a gift. And I think someone with faith understands that we don't have all the answers, and we're a bunch of imperfect people, but that we try to love through grace. And so I wrote in here, may these prayers give you voice to what is hard to say, light to what often seems dark, and space for you to hold without needing to explain. Thank you. Annabelle. Nursing. Yes. Know something about that. Caring profession, right? One of the things that I appreciate about you is the way that your dad often describes you. as a little old lady. But what I take that to mean is someone who is wise and confident beyond their years. And I think that's crucial in a healing profession, one that is going to be next to people at their bedside when they are facing sort of the existential limits of their lives, right? You're going to be there to tend, to hold. You're going to be a shepherd of those people. And so in this book, I wrote, her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. Continue to offer peace. Ryan. Now everybody's going to see how short I am. How are you, sir? Gosh. Oh my God. I need that stool over there. Oh, and even then. Oh, man. So, right, ever since I've been here, your family has been a part of my family. We've played board games together. Doug was, your dad, right, was junior warden, senior warden right there that brought me on board here, made sure that I, was able to eat when my family wasn't here, and so you've always been like a brother to me, and now I feel like an older brother to me, right? And so I'm so happy, right, that my brother is going to be continuing on in our tradition, that you're going to go check out OU, right, the campus ministry, OSU, sorry. Go Pokes. Does that redeem me? We're a community of grace, all right? All right. May this book be a companion to you both in joy and in sorrow, a tether to our tradition, a reminder of our brotherhood, and with gratitude for the family we have chosen in each other. Aaron Roper, yeah. How are you, friend? Missouri, right? College is Truman State, and you'll be studying biology. All right, the study of life, right? Something about life is that it's ever changing, right? Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things, the way that we can adapt. And I think about the way that you came from a community that adapted, right? And some of your friends are here amongst us, right? Martin Luther was a great reformer, right? But he also held on to the great traditions of the faith. And so what I wrote in here is that may these prayers be a guide for you, because praying shapes what we believe, yes? Right? We are ever reforming, but we are ever new. Got an Addie? Where's an Addie? There's Addie. I feel like I just got to know you very, very briefly, almost in name only, and now you're leaving us, right? And so one of the greatest gifts that I have to give to you is the prayers that have sort of formed me, have shaped me. There are prayers in here that when you don't have the words to pray, that's the Holy Spirit moving in us. But if you want to utter some of them, they're in here, and they're good, right? And so just offer you this prayer book of our tradition. Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah. Kara Moore. Yes. What is that? I don't know. You're going to have to open to see. Yeah. One of the things that you taught me was how to have some difficult conversations. You know what I mean? Yeah. When we were in New York, that crazy ride from the airport when Tom was getting grilled by that dude, you had a conversation with him. Yeah. And I watched how that went down. and I watched how you were pressed on, in front of, and behind, and you held your ground. You were inquisitive. You were grace-filled. You were genuine. And I appreciate your honesty and your willingness to say, hey, I don't know about all this, right? And so this is a necklace that I hope you'll wear and remember us. It doesn't have a cross. It has a heart, and it has an affinity symbol, right? And what that says to me is, in my faith, that Jesus is the beginning and the end. And I hope that in seeking you will find and you will know that Christ loves you too. Luke, I am your father. No, I'm not. So I remember, you said that you didn't have a Bible, a study Bible, right? So here's a good one. It's also got your name on it, right? So when you take it with you to those groups, you can say, that's mine, it's got my name on it, right? One of the things I like about this translation is like, it's easier to read, makes more sense. Although I think there's, when it's talking about how the Israelites made bricks, it mentions asphalt. I don't think there was asphalt back in the day. So you're gonna have to like kind of look past that, but then like there's cool stuff in here. And so one of the things that I love about Scripture is that it's ever new. It's always revealing something new to me. And I'm reminded, especially when I read the Gospels, that the Word is very near us for a reason, so that we might go out and do. All right? Yes, sir. Thank you. Graduates. Thank you all.